Yes, does anybody have anything to say? Or does anybody wants to say, not so much as have anything to say, will anybody like to say something else? Add something to what's please come to, sorry, what's your name?
My name is Fadeshola Adetosoye.
Go ahead, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I met Felicia through the Holy Child Old Girls Association some years ago. I used to live in Enfield, not too far from her. So many times we have to go for the meetings. And one thing about Felicia, I will prompt her. You know there's meeting next week Saturday. Are you coming? I'm coming. What time should I get ready? She will tell me. When I now call her in that very day of the meeting, I will be calling her, she won't pick up the phone. I have to call the landline. Uncle Uzo will pick up the phone. Uncle Uzo will say, she said that she wake up at Kinikota and Uncle Uzo and make sure we won't get ready, Mutigbo. It's true. I always tell Uncle Uzo to make sure she's ready because I can't afford to be late for the meeting because I'm the welfare officer. And you know how it is. When you're welfare officer, you have to lead by example. So when I call the landline, I'll say, Uncle Zo, how far? She's getting ready. She's in the bathroom. I say, okay, make sure. It's true because I can't afford to be late. Then when we are going, sat-nav. Felicia was always bad with that sat-nav. When they are going, I say, second exit, turn left. I'll be counting for her. 1, 2, we're not going here. It's true because I can't let her take me round and around. So we always fight on the road. When we are going, we fight. When we are coming, we fight. Because she's somebody that I have to be prompting. There was a day we got lost and I told her, what happened? Her sat-nav wasn't working. I said, thank God I know the way. When I now started directing her, she doesn't say, let me give you the steering. I said, unfortunately I don't drive. I drive with my mouth. So, that's why we always fight like Tom and Jerry. But I love my sister. And I remember her for the good and times when we used to fight. Even when I had an issue, concerning housing, because she's in housing, and I asked her whether there was, I was going to be able to register in the housing register. She said, well, my sister, there's no house unless you have health issue. She advised me, she guided me till I bought my property in Stevenage. I just want to thank God for knowing her. She was a fantastic sister and I would always remember her. I love her and I would miss her greatly. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Would anybody else like to come forward? Oh, good. The comments she made about the sat-nav is similar to what Amaka said as well, that Felicia has this phobia or mistrust of technology. So your story is valid, very valid. Go on.
Thank you. Like Friday, Felicia was my classmate in Holy Child. So Felicia was my classmate in Holy Child, and quite often we have meetings in each other's houses. So we go from one house to the other. On very, very many occasions, apart from the meeting, sometimes we have some of our set sisters visiting from Lagos. And so we say, this person is around, let's gather around and just spend time with them. We'll tell Felicia, are you going to come? She will say she will come. Okay. We'll have the get-together or the meeting, whatever it is. When I've maybe gone to drop people at the station on the way home, when I come back, Felicia is just arriving. I'm working now. What's it on now? We said we'll meet at 4 o'clock. I'll be 5. You are coming at 9 o'clock. Or she will get to the train. That's when she's driving. Or she will get to the train station and start calling. Which exit should I pass? Which entrance? Which platform? Which Felicia? I know this is my area. This is where I live. But I could not for the life of me tell you which exit or which. Read the sign. There's sign there. Read it. She was always, anytime we're having a meeting or we're having, and you hear the phone ring like this, it's Felicia asking for directions or tell you, I'm coming, or I want to cook for Igbobi boys. I'm coming, I'm cooking jollof rice for her husband's classmate. Well, she was such a dear. She would always turn up, but she would be late.
Thank you so much. As an Igbobi college boy, and very much junior to Uzo's set, nonetheless, when they have their meetings as a junior boy, I sneak in once in a while and just sit down listening. I can testify to Felicia's jollof rice. So I testify to Felicia's jollof. Another mistake, not so much as a mistake, I was with the Holy Child girls out there. We were just teasing, and I mentioned another school. I will stop there. Do you know what I mean? Anybody else want to say something about Felicia? Please come forward. Anybody come forward? Otherwise, I will pick on you. I'll come around and I'll pick on you. I'll come around and pick on you. Anybody wants to say? Anybody wants to reminisce about Felicia? Oh, good. Are you only child as well, or MG? Oh, sorry. I meant to say holy child. So I take it back.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taiwo Diopane. I too am from Holy Child. I was the same year as Felicia, but I didn't actually know her in school. I'm not going to add any more of her lateness stories. The thing that I just wanted to acknowledge about Felicia, and what I really liked about Felicia, was her soul. You didn't need to know her very well to know that she was just a good soul. She had a really gentle heart, and she was just really warm, and that warmth and the heart that she had was illustrated in the story that was told, where she got up from her sick bed to go and hug somebody else's child who was really distressed because their mother was in pain. And that is what I will carry with me when I think of Felicia, that warmth and that kindness. I never, ever heard her say a bad word about anyone. So when people say that she fought or she gets angry very quickly, I never saw that side of her. And she was always very, very warm to me. So I just wanted to acknowledge that aspect of Felicia as well. Thank you.
Is this where I now have to come around and pick on anybody, or are there any volunteers who would like to speak? But only child girls again. MG. Are you want to say something about that? My sister, go ahead. Oh, yeah, good person. Go ahead.
I knew Felicia from when she was a baby, because my dad was her dad's godfather. So we literally grew up together. But as life is, after so many years, you just lose touch with each other. But I was fortunate, last year or 2 years ago, I met her at my sister's party, and the warmth and the excitement, I'm just glad I met her before this happened. May her gentle soul rest in peace.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Where are the Ruby, is it Ruby Club, Ruby Women? They were here yesterday. Anybody from the Ruby Club? Ruby. Is it me you are looking for? Right. Here's another one. Emmanuel, tell us what you know about it.
I'm not telling you what I know about Felicia. Time of the day. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think I was just actually called upon on my own volunteering that I want to speak about Felicia. All through the period we had from yesterday to today, I think there were no spaces for anybody, friends, to say anything. I think it were all documented tributes and saying, and I'm seeing this opportunity, I don't want to lose it. When you look at the sister, the personality we were talking about, throughout yesterday, when some of these speeches were made, tears were just standing in my eyes, and I'm just looking back. Not even today as well. When she walked into this country, after she returned, after the first time and she returned, I think I was one of those who welcomed her at the airport. And from that day, we lived on the same street. We exchanged family visits. I met with her until they moved out of our area and had a place where they packed to and then bought a house. I kept on visiting. And anytime you find Felicia laughing on the phone, her husband will know that I'm the person on the phone. He doesn't need to ask who is speaking. That is how much we share that aspect of life. The cordiality, the quietness. Sometimes you keep wondering, does she feel pain? Is she concerned? And everything. But being who she is, she's a strong fellow. Rub your problems on her. That is when you know you are talking to someone with strength. She's a well-made human. Amaka was a baby. Pardon me to say that if she is sitting there somewhere, when she came into the country, her nickname to me is Amaka, my baby. Nobody calls her that name. I was around when Chinedu was giving birth to. His own nickname is Chinex Baba. So in this family, God has given me an opportunity to be with them. And it was really a surprise when quite early in the morning, I picked up my phone and I saw a message from my husband. I lost Felicia yesterday too. I said, what? At 5 a.m., I lost control. I called him on the phone. He did not pick. It was later I realized that was 5 a.m. in the morning. And by chance, he called back. What's going on? Is it true? This is a man that sent you a message, and I'm still asking him, is it true? He said, yeah. From then, till I came to visit him, till today that we put her down to rest, it's never going to be the same in me. Because anytime I see a husband, I see the children, I know there's someone missing. But by the grace of God, we pray it's going to be for a short period of time. We will meet her again. So I thank all of you for turning up and giving me this opportunity to express myself so that some of the emotions and pain will leave my body. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. You remember Uzo was talking about Felicia, that they like to travel. One place Felicia was very, very, very fond of was Ireland. They had a family friend. I say had, past tense. They have a family friend in Ireland. He has always been there for the kids' weddings and marrying. He will speak for himself. Mike, please come forward. Mike has come all the way from Ireland as well. Amos, oh, sorry. I punish myself.
The gunner for life. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's really very sad, you know? Yeah, it's really very difficult and sad to be here. But what can we do as human beings? When it has happened, it has happened. And we can only take solace on the fact that Felicia knew Jesus and that she is in a better place. I'm a friend. My name is Amos, and I'm from Galway in the Republic of Ireland. I was admitted to University of Lagos in 1979. And during my studies there, my brother, Uzo, was in Yaba College of Technology. And since then, we've been friends. So most of us who were close to him in our college days are quite familiar to the fact that Felicia has been with him since our youthful days when we were in our 20s. This friendship and brotherhood grew over time, even in our various search for greener pastures, going in different directions, making babies, getting married, sending our children to college and all the rest. But we reconnected again over some 30, 40 years, and the friendship has grown. Uzo is a brother. And the closer, so much has been said about Felicia. And the facts that have been made bare to all of us, I mean, they are incontrovertible. Nobody has said anything negative about this beautiful soul that we all witnessed, laid to rest today. 2 of my daughters got married, 2017, 2019. And Felicia came to Galway with Uzo to grace the traditional marriages and the church wedding of my 2 daughters. In fact, my wife she's distraught and in complete shock that even before, she should have been here, but in her state of mind, I just told her my presence here will be enough representation for the family. So I want to thank all of you on behalf of Uzo and the Ogie family. Thank you so much for being true friends. This is a loss to all of us. And we're just putting up a bold face to behave as men, even in this very difficult time. May her gentle soul rest in peace.
Thank you very much, Amos. Thank you. Another person who will want to say something is Wale Kuti. Wale Kuti and Uzo are both Igbobians. Shashagbo.
I'm Wally's wife, Jackie. I didn't know Felicia well, or for very long, but she was my friend. And her face always lit up when she saw me. The kindest, most beautiful lady that I know. And I will miss her. I love you, Felicia.
Thank you. Thank you. I've known Felicia, I would say, since 1980, 81, thereabouts, well over 40 years. Uzo and I were classmates in Bobi College. And just before when I was in University of Lagos, he was in Yaba College of Technology. And the 2 schools were almost like sister schools. So we were seen all the time. So I've known Felicia since she was in Yaba College of Technology. And when Uzo was coming to the UK, I think we met. I think he was working in a bank somewhere in Ikeja then, and we met. I remember around about Akron, he said he was coming to the UK, and kind of wished him well. I think that was around the same time that I also came to the UK. And well, we didn't have any contact of each other. He probably will not remember, but we met. I think in Houston. He was coming up this elevator. I was going down the elevator, and we're so excited to see each other. And from then we linked up, and of course linked up also with Felicia. So he's someone like a brother, and the outpouring of emotions, the goodwill, the support, the care from so many shows clearly what a wonderful woman she was. You know, she was a beautiful soul, as someone just said, very, very beautiful soul. And I must say, there was no time she would see me either at their place or at a function or anywhere. She would always say, "Egboni," as if we are blood siblings. You know, she saw me as an elder brother. And I have so much respect for her because she was very, very kind, very lovely. Even she would see me, no time she would see me, she would say, "Oh, how's Jackie? How's Zainab?" She was also close to my daughter. My daughter was here yesterday. She was a wonderful woman, and I feel privileged to have met and known her. May her soul, a beautiful soul, rest in peace. I just hope and pray that God will give Uzo the strength to bear this massive loss. May her soul rest in peace.
And like I always say about Felicia, Felicia was a very, very quiet woman, but she was a very quiet woman who influenced so many lives, so many lives. She touched so many lives without making too much noise about it. Honey.
Thank you all of you for coming today. I actually thought I was very special. I was the only person Felicia was in love with. Because now, seriously, I am actually jealous because I don't know, I don't even know where to start from. Hearing all these lovely things about Felicia, I thought I was the only one that felt like that was Felicia. And I'm really grateful to have met her. I wanted to say she was my children's godmother, but she is my children's godmother because this can't be replaced. And I'm so grateful to God that wherever she is, she remains my children's godmother. The last time we met face to face and we were playing, we were chatting, and it was Christmas party with the ladies, and we sat on the same table. It wasn't Christmas party, it was the Red Bull. We sat on the same table, we had fun, we danced, we were all over the place, and if only we knew it was the last dance. But it's not the last dance, we're going to get there again, and we're going to have a massive party. And that is the joy that we have, and that is the promise from God that we have, that we're going to meet, all of us, we're going to meet again someday. I had my health challenges, and she was there for me. You know that Felicia is not that one who bombards you with things. She's so gentle, and the way she comes at you, it's like a swamp. She just gently, and before you know it, she's taking over you, and that is the type of person she is. And it can go on and on and on. Christmas, I saw her again, Christmas party, I saw her, we sat together, and we were talking, and she said to me, I've been in and out of the hospital, and she's a woman of faith as well. And then we talked about family. She talked about Chinedu, how proud she is about Chinedu, his work ethics and all that. She talked about Kai. She talked about Amaka. And she said something. She said she's been talking to them about linking up together and being close as she is to her siblings. So I said, oh, that's really lovely. And then I was complaining about her godson to her. It's like, don't worry, he will get over it, he will grow. I mean, they are like that sometimes. But look at Chinedu, look at Amaka now, you know. And then I was kind of encouraged. So Felicia, it wasn't someone I would like meet somewhere and we suddenly click. But she's, like I said, she's that kind of who softly just kind of makes her way into your life. And I just want to thank God for that personality. And that is a part of God that she's got. And I hope that she's left that with us. And I've learned a lot from her. It's not about just going into a room and being the light bulb that everybody sees, but in your own little way, you're touching everyone. And Felicia was that kind of person. And I'm so grateful to God that she's my children's godmother, and she's there looking down on us today. May her soul rest in peace, and we'll meet again.
The red ball she referred to, there was a raffle ticket draw. Guess who was appointed to present the prizes of the raffle draw? Felicia. Thank you.
I was actually dreading that he'll come to me, Nestle. How did I meet Felicia? It was years and years ago. It was actually when I was going out with my husband. They call us P1s, yeah, P1s. We're wives of the National Association of Sea Dogs. And when I first met Felicia, it was probably over 25 years ago, and it was in the London Road, and I think it was a Nigerian restaurant. We all decided that our husbands, every Friday, they went out, and they came back, and they all seemed to be very happy. And if someone's laughing on the phone, it was probably one of their National Association of Sea Dog brothers they were talking to. So all of us decided, oh well, on the Fridays, if they're going out, we're going out too. So we started going out with them. So on their side, when they're having their meetings, we'll all meet up. So we actually watched our children's being born, watched our children's during Christmas parties, run around and grow up, go to university. And along the way, the different branches, the Zero Meridian, changed to become Trafalgar. From Trafalgar, they then split up, and we went over to become, what are we? Magna Carta. That's how well I know them. But still, we still meet up. Whenever I meet, I don't feel that I meet strangers. I feel that I meet brothers, because they're amazing men, they're wonderful men, and we can rely on them every single time. Even also, I can phone at any time, and we feel that we have brothers. But then to come to Felicia, Felicia will make you feel that you are special. You are amazing. When she talks to you, there is nobody else, apart from Ozo, of course. When we go out, we all sit down, we all talk and gist, but all of a sudden, you look for Felicia, and where is she? She's there beside Ozo. Even if you have to go out and get your food and your husband's, no. Felicia will go and get Ozo's. Always, always, even when we're talking to her, her eyes are directed to make sure he's okay. And on the other way, he's always coming across to her. So I don't know, it's a big loss. It's a massive, massive loss. And I think we all need to rally around him and make sure that he's okay. We call him, at least I heard now, Obidie, that means her husband's heart. So we really need to rally around him. We're all going to be leaving here, but we need to make sure every single time, even if it's a text or a phone call once in a while, to make sure that he's not alone, that we're all still with him. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I won't have to go too far. If you like, don't look at me, I'll look at you. Her name is Fumi, but I call her Nkechi. She thinks I'm Igbo.
Oh my God. I don't like this. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming round to celebrate the life of Felicia. I am short of words. I'm still in shock, and I still don't believe she's gone. But I just have to face the reality that I've lost my dancing partner. We actually started, apart from knowing each other from
through our husbands, Uzo and Debo, we became quite close. We're talking about 1995, before my son was born. And they knew all my children. They've been present during celebrations, christening, Holy Communion, confirmation, and all that, and as well as graduations. So whenever we have our parties, they're always there, despite the distance, coming all the way from Enfield to Kent. So we all celebrate good times. And when we go away to holidays, to Ireland, to Dubai, we went together. And it was very, very interesting, very enjoyable. And we started going out to this Omo White. We were the pioneers from years back. We follow him everywhere, and then when I'm on the floor, she's there. Because sometimes the husbands will be busy chatting, and we'll just jump on the floor. Come on, my dancing partner, let's continue. So we don't really miss them whilst they're talking. So it's been on like that for so many years, and we've been close. We share each other's problems, joy, happiness, and yeah, and she's a close member of my family members, and my children, unfortunately, they've left now. They took time out to say, Auntie Felicia, I'm coming, definitely. Usually you never see my son in any of these gatherings, but for him to take the time and come down today, it's unbelievable. But yeah, and my last one came from Nottingham, working overnight, and came down here. That's how special Felicia was to us. We've been together through thick and thin. She's a lovely, Nikki, usually she goes around, she's a very busy person, but she took that time out and said, for Aunt Felicia, I will come round, I will sing, I will do anything. So, yeah, so that's how special she is to us, and we really appreciate her. Felicia is such a warm person. She's loving, very quiet, soft-spoken, and she just doesn't like trouble. Sometimes when I tell her, why haven't you done it? Oh, no vex. Just to shut me down. No vex. That's all. And it will just calm you down, because you can't argue with someone like that. Even when she was in hospital, and in December we were supposed to go to. My daughter was singing in Finland, and we all arranged to go, about 12 of us, and she came. She said, oh, by all means, anything to do with Nikki, she's coming. So she's been to other of our shows, Royal Albert Hall and all that, so she enjoys it. And she said, oh, I'm coming with you if it's Nikki. And we all booked the tickets and everything. Unfortunately, she couldn't attend because I just told her, have you spoken to your doctor that it's okay for you to travel? She said, no, for me, I'm going. No. I said, but you still need to. And she went back. She said, okay. Came back and said, oh, my doctors told me that I can't travel. And I said, oh, dear. So what's going to happen? So unfortunately, she lost all the money, even though she paid for the flight and ticket, the holiday. So we were all thinking about her, and I was communicating with her throughout that period. And then this was early December, and I came back. We spoke, and we kept talking on regular basis. And then she went into hospital, and I went to see her, and we were just talking. And one thing I picked from her was that all she kept saying throughout that period was that, just say thank you to my husband, because he's really been so loving, he's been kind, he's so supportive. I beg, just thank him for me. And I was like, what is his duty? What's the big deal about it? I beg. He said, I just want you to thank him. I said, okay. I just, okay, I will thank him. But it's not my place to thank him. He knows that it's what he should be doing. So we just joked about it. And I spent about 2 hours with her and had to leave because of where I parked. And I was going away then afterwards. And I didn't want to say, okay, I said, okay, once I come back, I'll come and see her again. And I spoke to her, she was fine. And as soon as I arrived, I called and called and called. It wasn't picking up, what's going on? I said, okay, maybe she's been discharged. So I called the husband, the house phone, and Uzo picked up and said, lost her. I said, what do you mean you've lost her? What's going on? And it was I don't know how to explain my feelings then, but since then, I've not been the same. But God knows best. And my mind just went straight to mom, to her mom, to the siblings, to the children. And I'm thinking, how will they cope? What is, why? And I could not stop asking that question till today, why? But at the end of the day, we just have to resign our faith to God and say, God knows best. He gives and he takes. And to live in the heart of those we love is not to die. I've always believed in that. And for every one of us here, I always say, life is too short. Enjoy it while you can. And make sure you do what is right in the sight of God. And be kind and be, loving towards your neighbor. That's the most important thing. The love of God and the love of your neighbor. Every other thing is secondary. Every other thing will be added onto you. She lived a Christian life. She lived a meaningful life. She's a woman of substance, I would say. I've attended a few of her programs. I've been to the Holy Child picnics. I've been there with her. I've been to the Ruby Ladies. I've been there to one of their parties, all dressed up. So she loves to party, and she was my partner in that respect. So we really enjoyed it. But I thank God for her life, and I pray for eternal rest, and I pray for the family. We'll continue to pray for the family, that they will all, the Lord will give them the strength to bear the irreparable loss. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Nikki, that's Nikki's mom. Nikki was the beautiful young lady who sang, I think, like 2 or 3 solos today and yesterday as well. Nikki and I are in conversation, we're in negotiation about agency. I might just collect just 10 to 15%. Okay. So Mommy Nikki, I'm still in conversation with Nikki. We are negotiating between 15 to 20%, subject to Simon Cowell's recommendation. But I will let you know how we get on with that. The next person I will call is Dr. Dewumi as well. Dr. Dewumi is very familiar, or he's a friend of the family as well, and he has known Felicia since forever. Before he comes on, please, if you need anything on your table, brandy, soft drink, hard drink, any drink, food, anything, please contact Benga here. He will sort you out. Dr. Dewumi, please, if you want to come forward.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to say, I've been sitting outside. I was not inside the hall. So I don't know exactly what people have said so far. But at the risk of repeating myself, I'm not going to go into extolling the virtues, the attributes of Felicia, because I'm sure you've heard it all. But on a personal level, about 5 years ago, I went to Nigeria to bury my dad. And at the wake keeping, I saw this young lady walk past me. And one of my uncles said, "Oh, don't you know her?" And I looked at my uncle and I thought, "What do you mean, don't you know her?" He said, "That's your child." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And that was a secret for some strange reason. my father, my uncles kept away from me when I was in school that I had a child. She was already an adult. So when I returned to London, Uzo, myself, Felicia, attended a party somewhere in Reading. And she kept saying to Uzo that he doesn't look happy. There's something bothering him. That was a week after I returned from Nigeria. I'd just gone to Nigeria. I've come back to suddenly realize I have an adult daughter who already herself has children. And I was just confused. I didn't know where I was. The person who helped me to navigate that journey was Felicia. And every time she saw me, she would always say, "Oh, how is Olubumi doing?" So when I told Olubumi that the auntie she lives in America, and when I told her that the auntie who always asked after her died, she was distraught about it. A couple of weeks ago, I went to Reading on a retreat with my group in church, and I have one of the persons in the group here with me. She probably doesn't want me to single her out in this hall. She's shaking her head now. And I did say to her on that day that I had a friend in Reading who played golf in the same place we went for this retreat, that I will call him to come and meet us. I sent him a text. I never got a reply. Only to find out on bank holiday, bank holiday, 27th of May, that he was in hospital. 27th of May. He died last Saturday. The import of what I have to say is that perhaps you are here and there's that person that you are thinking about, you haven't gotten yourself into sending them a message, sending them a text message, giving them a call. Please do it. Felicia helped me to negotiate a very difficult journey in my life. She was always very caring. She would ask me questions. She would talk to me. She would engage me in conversations. She was a faithful woman. And I remember when I visited Uzo, when this thing just happened, and he kept repeating 43 years, 43 years, Felicia, 43 years. Well, the comforting words I have for Uzo, I believe, is to say to him, congratulations, you had 43 years. There's a scripture in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 19, verse 21. It says, there are many plans in the heart of a man, but the will of the Lord, that shall prevail. The import of that statement is, in anything we think, whatever we have plans, whatever plans we have, whatever devices whatever things we are constructing in our hearts, what is important is to be able to submit it to whatever direction God wants to take it. Felicia lived a productive life. I see her children here. I see her grandson. Who wouldn't be proud of them? Who wouldn't be proud of them? Some people live to 90, 80, and the day they die, all people have to say is, thank God that bastard is gone. But today, we are not saying that. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a day to mourn. It is a day to say, thank God for the life of Felicia. Thank God for a faithful woman. Thank God for a husband who stuck with his wife. Thank God for a man who gave his best for his family. Thank God for a woman who did everything. Thank God for righteousness. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for coming. Wherever you've come from, the Holy Child girls, I am aware, I happen to have a partner who is also from Holy Child. And I'm aware that somebody from Holy Child was buried yesterday. May God console all of us. So, and as we live here at whatever time we start to live, may we all have reasons to look back on the day and say, thank God. Thank you.
One common theme which Uzo mentioned and Fumi also mentioned is Felicia likes to travel. On one of our travels, she went to Israel, and she brought this thing as a gift to me and my wife and our kids. As soon as you enter my house, that is the first thing you will see in the alleyway up there from Israel. Whenever I see it, it reminds me of Felicia. That's how nice Felicia was. Tamunu, please come forward. Felicia travels, in those days she traveled a lot with Tamunu and family and wife and Fumi and all of them. This is one of the husbands who they all used to travel together in those days.
Hello, my name is Tamnemi Amakri. We are a jolly trio that travel together. That is, me and my wife, Madonna Uju Amakri, popularly known as Vivian. Then you have the Adewale's, that is Debo and his wife Fumi, and then Izo and his wife. We always go together in most occasions as a trio, and we were recognized for that. It's a pity. It's a really big pity. She's no more here with us. I was crying in church for her loss. For our loss to the family, for our loss to us, and for our loss to everybody. And what has happened. But we believe Uzo will be comforted, the family will be comforted, and we will live on. And we will pray for our life to rest in perfect peace. In Jesus Christ, amen.
Because I'm from the Holy Child in Ghana, and we are affiliated with the Holy Child in Nigeria. And I was asked by my group to represent Hobsa. And I must say, when I first saw the program about Felicia in our WhatsApp site, I was somehow drawn to it. Because usually when I see any invite or anything anywhere, I sort of shy off and say, let somebody else do it. But we had a meeting on the first Sunday of the month. I think that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And as we got there, they were asking for people, and I straight away put my hand up that I would come. And I don't know what, something drove me and pulled me here. And I'm very privileged, as I said, to be here to be with you all and be with his family, her family, and to say farewell to her. Hearing all you've all said about her, I feel she truly was a woman of God's calling, God's loving, and God's spirit. And I hope we all somehow get affected or inflicted or infected with that love she had for God, that we all feel it too. Because from what you all say, she's a woman of good spirit. Yes. And that's what we all need to have. And thank you all for having me here. Bye. Thank you.
That's a Holy Child all the way from Ghana. And Tonia, I was going to call Tonia next. I think she just walked past me now. Where is Tonia?
It's on. Hello? There we go. I would like to further talk about my tribute about me man's prayer sessions when I used to come over. It meant a lot to me because around that time was when I was first properly trying to get into like praying, being more of like a better Christian. So she'd always help me. We always have nice late night talks, talking about God, talking about everything, to be honest, talking about life. And yeah, she had a lot of wisdom, so much knowledge. She was an amazing woman in general. And she just made me feel safe, made me feel welcome every time I came, no matter what. No matter where we went, she would always take me along with her as well. And yeah, I just loved her so much, and I still do now. And she'll always be in my heart forever.
Well done. I'm going to call on Tonya now. Tonya has done so much to make today and yesterday a very successful, actually to make yesterday and today 2 successful events. Thanks to Tonya's organizational skills and Uzo's coordination skills. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much. It's been fantastic listening to what everyone has got to say. I've heard so much over the last several weeks from people I've met and some I've not met through Felicia. And it's just been heart-lifting and very heartwarming, rather than uplifting, to hear all the things. There are affirmations of what we already know as her family and having known her all our lives, for most of us. But it's beautiful to hear it again from so many people. And we just hear the same thing, it resounds, the quality and the beauty of the person who she was. It's resounding because it's the same words being used all the time, kind, thoughtful, empathetic, and that was all Felicia, and much more, so much more. She had a goofy sense of humor, and there was just so much to her, so much life. Like Fumi was saying, everybody says, I don't think anybody loved to party as much as my sister. She could rock it anywhere, anytime. And so it's beautiful to hear the different parts of her, and I'm so glad we're doing this aspect where it's not just the solemn parts we've had, because I think now we can all just enjoy the beauty of who she was. I'm not going to say much about her. I think I said quite enough already yesterday. The reason why I'm just saying this is because I'm building on, I just wanted to just kind of expand on what Fumi said about Felicia saying to thank Uzo. When she was, all through their lives, they've always been, like I said, it's inseparable. When I was a teenager, I used to watch them. It was so funny because they would come, but Uzo was in the house every day, and he was traveling miles, and they would sit down, and that's One Day I'll Fly Away we played yesterday. The whole album, I think it's Now We May Begin, and she will play it, all through. They may not even say anything; they'll just be there, just both of them, and they're just playing the song. I never owned that song, that album, anything, but by the time living in the same house, I know all the lyrics of all the tracks on that album. And Uzo would just sit down there, they would talk a bit, do other things. They were like an old married couple before they became an old married couple. Thank God for that. I'm so glad for that. But I just want, on behalf of my family, I want to thank Uzo. And I want to do it openly. That's why I'm doing this. Because when I've said it, and my mom and everybody, he said, oh, it's my duty. He feels it's my duty. And I've said to him, not necessarily. Yeah, maybe it's your duty, but you don't have to carry it out. There are many people who don't carry out that duty. Felicia was in hospital since January. And when she was in Middlesex Hospital, she remember saying to me, this man comes every day. I don't know how he does it. And at that time I was like, I'm glad that you are able to take something like that for granted. I was so happy that she had that, because if there's one thing she had, even though yes, she was saying everybody should thank him because that's my sister, she appreciated every little thing you would do for her. You could give her a 5p coin and she would thank you as if you gave her 5,000 pounds. So yes, she wants everybody to thank him, but at the same time, there was that peace in her heart that she had Uzo. She always had that peace. And I want to thank you for giving her that peace, Uzo. Because who knew she would go this early? I'm so glad that she had that. 43 years. She had 43 years. And it was good. My auntie said something to me when I was talking to her on the phone. She was saying, oh, how is Uzo? I said, well, I don't know. He's hanging in there. I thank God for his friends who are bringing drinks and getting him drunk. Off and on. Not disrespectfully. I can't. In fact, that's another aspect. I can't thank, his friends enough. The support has just been incredible for him, and I'm so grateful for it, because I knew how he was when we walked out of that hospital, and by the time we got to his house, I think within the hour you were there, within half an hour he was there, within the hour there were five men, and they were in that house till midnight. And I knew how he was when we left the hospital, and I knew how he was when they left at midnight. So, and it's not just been that night. That's what fascinates me, because almost every time when I'm talking to him, there's some friends around. When I'm there, there are people around. And when, the Yoruba says, in Yola show me, it's just been so glaring. It's just been exemplified in this example. You have been Uzo's clothing, you've been his cloak, you've been his strength, his friends. And I thank you for that. But I thank you, Uzo, for giving my sister wings to fly, for just being there for her, for loving her, and just allowing her to be able to take your love for granted. It's not an easy thing to be able to take somebody's love for granted. Many times you get let down, but you didn't let her down. And I thank you for that. My mom said thank you. She thanked you, I know, when she spoke to you. And she meant it. We all did. Felicia knew it. And she was appreciative of it. And we all are. And I said thank you. Thank you.
As a continuation of the appreciation expressed by Tonia, there were so many friends, so many associates of Uzo. Igbobi College boys are sat over there. There are many a time I will come to Uzo's place and I'll see Ikoba boys sat there with him as well, late night, reminiscing about Felicia, laughter with Felicia. You will have heard some men making noise out there, which my sister here expressed earlier on. Again, those men were constantly there giving support to Uzo as well. So I extend my appreciation to Ikoba boys. Every one of them there is my senior, actually. So thank you. And to Kripa men as well. So thank you so much. Unless there is anybody else who wants to say anything, I'm going to wrap this up for the night, for the day. Is there anybody who wants to say anything? Any last minute thing after Tonya? I think everything has been said. Coyote, you want to say anything? No? Anyway, thank you very much. Actually, let me just pull this man. This is another person again who Benga Denuga. On top of his day jobs, there were many times this man would drive Uzo down to the hospital. Every day he was available, he drove Uzo down to the hospital. Thank you so much for what you do.
It's very hard to do. It's very hard to do. That's what you do for a friend. So a friend in need says, and a brother as well. So, and Auntie Felicia, man, may God rest her soul. She's been a very wonderful woman. She was a very wonderful woman to us, all of us. And by so doing, we have to be supportive. We have to celebrate her life. And I'm happy that all of you being here today, I've got one or two things to say about her. Wherever she is today, she's in a peaceful land. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. And I promise I will not mention MG for the rest of the day.
Everyone, thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody for joining us since last night, all through today. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And I'm really glad that you took the time out to honor my sister, Felicia. We're all grateful, the whole family is. Pray that God blesses you and guides you on your way. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you.